From the upper chambers of the National Assembly, the Senate on Wednesday rejected a bill seeking to ensure the consideration of federal character in the appointment of service chiefs. In a heated session, the lawmakers were sharply divided in their deliberations on the bill to establish the Armed Forces Service Commission, which was sponsored by Senate Minority Leader Enyinnaya Abaribe, who noted in his debate that the bill sought to help strengthen national unity where every geopolitical zone of the Federation is represented, while giving effect to the clear provisions of Section 219 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. According to the bill, the appointment of Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Director of Military Intelligence, and heads of other arm-bearing security agencies shall be appointed subject to the recommendations by the Armed Forces Service Commission.
This bill seeks to establish the Armed Forces Service Commission to ensure that the composition, appointment of service chiefs of the Armed Forces of the Federation reflects federal character of Nigeria in the manner prescribed in Section 2173 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
But the debate took a partisan dimension as senators from the ruling All Progressive Congress strongly rejected the bill, saying it seeks to politicize the Nigerian military.
Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, in as much as this bill is good on the paper, it's good to create a disunity in the operation of the armed forces. As it's presently composed, the commission cannot take the functions of the Chief of Army Staff or the functions of all the chiefs, of all the service chiefs. Because if you allow this bill to materialize, the armed forces will be politicized and the professionalism will be killed.
This is probably the worst period after the Biafran War. This is the worst period that has overstretched the unity, the professional competence of our armed forces. And for us now, to now want to introduce this commission at this point in time is going to be very, very diversionary.
What they are seeking to do is enact a law, an act of parliament, though provided for under 219, but it will be an inferior legislation to the constitutional provisions. Because the power to appoint the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Force, and other security agencies as may be determined by us. But at least these ones are already determined by the Constitution. That power to make the appointment is already conferred on Mr. President. And that's a constitutional provision.
It will not be good for the unity of the country, and it will not be good for the armed forces because it will affect their morale. Because it may end up not recognizing the merit.
The President of Senate, Ahmed Lawan, however, put a voice vote with the nays having it, a decision Abaribe disagreed with.
It's not my opinion that the nays had it. We took a vote. The nays outnumbered or outweighed the ayes. So I think it's not right or it's not correct that the minority leader would impute the defeat of the bill to the President of the Senate.
Citing Order 73 of the Senate Standing Rule, Senator Abaribe called for a division, asking lawmakers to vote individually on the bill.
Any senator may challenge the opinion of the President or the chairman by claiming a division. You have a right to vote. So, Mr. President, I claim a division and I want us to vote one after the other.
The tense atmosphere forced the Senate President to call for a closed-door session, after which he appealed to Senator Abaribe to withdraw the order.
Mr. President, in order to preserve the dignity of these hallowed chambers, I wish to withdraw my Order 73. Secondly, and for us to be able to do further consultations on the bill that I have proposed, I wish also to step down the consideration of this bill until a more appropriate time. I so submit, Mr. President.